True. And you already know me. So I appreciate y'all for being here yet again for another episode of Forever Slow Stroking the podcast. I think this is episode 105. If it's not 105, it's 106. But slowly but surely, we're just chugging along. So we really get into it. So um, kudos to the podcast, man.
Congrats, Eyon. Congrats.
Man,
Yeah.
it's not me, it's everybody. So I wouldn't do the podcast if number one people didn't really. I mean, even if people didn't listen to it, I'd probably find a way to still do it. But um, oh wait, I lied. 101, 102. This is episode 104. 104. So yeah, I had to go back and check my receipts before I gave it back to the streets. So, but
Oh,
nah.
okay.
Yeah, you know me. I be rapping on beats. I said I don't be in the streets.
Yeah.
I be trading them papers, something like a sheet.
Ooh.
Back in the 90s, that's what it used to be. Now I'm doing it on a computer, looking through a TV.
Okay. Yeah, I think you might gotta change careers, yo. You might gotta just start rapping.
If the stocks don't work, I'm telling you. Like, if the stocks don't work, they gonna have me on MTV to show your mama. They don't do that no more, but they used to be freestyling. The Your Mama or the 106 in Pop. They used to do the little freestyles.
I remember that.
Yeah. Every time they was rapping, they were the guy that was not rapping, whose turn it wasn't. He was always like this, like
Yeah, all right, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. The most famous one that I think keeps on showing back up on like Twitter and stuff today is like there was a guy who was blind and he was rapping.
Word.
Yeah, he was blind and he was cooking dudes, bro. Crazy. He was really spitting. It was
That's
a
crazy.
yep. No
That's
eyes, bro, but he was spitting.
hey, I guess you don't need them for certain things, right?
Right. hmm
That's valid. But yeah. But Jermaine, you had a question. What's good? Now's your chance.
Yeah. So my question is, gentlemen, how are y'all doing? I need updates on how y'all's month been so far, how things are going, so we can start with Malik. Let's go.
I mean, this month has been pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, it's been pretty good. Work is going consistent. You feel me? Uh, Lots of events. Around this time, this homecoming season. So Morgan just had theirs. That job was crazy. And then, yeah, outside of that, business as usual is going well. Everything's going well. I mean, I can't complain at all. Good health, good well. You know what I mean?
Parlays
Can't
hitting?
complain. Yeah, I had a few parlays hits. I had a few parlays hits.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
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 it's all about risk to reward. So I know you eating.
yeah, yeah. Definitely risking too, but definitely eating at the same time.
I see Eon hands on his head. Uh-oh.
I play some of the parlays too. I really only listen to the stuff that Malik tell me to do because I don't know what to do with that. So, and that's what we're gonna talk about today. Actually, we're gonna talk about sports betting, um, because we got this recession. They
Eon,
come.
before we get started, you ain't told people how you doing though. You ain't told
I didn't. I guess I didn't. Did I? All right. So
people.
anyway, but so I'm pretty valid on like life is it's an interesting journey, and I'm very appreciative to be able to experience it. I've been speaking with a whole lot more clients lately, like so I'm closing deals. The best deal that I have right now is a $20,000 101. Like that's the best deal, and I think I'm about to change the price. Like that price has to go up because I just don't have the time, and I can't like I can't add people anymore for that price. So I gotta take the price up. So like think things are looking good, things are feeling good, things are getting good. It's just a matter of how much time it took to get there. Excuse me. In addition to that, like I'm excited because in 2 weeks I'm going to a school to talk to the students about financial literacy. So I'm looking forward to that, and I don't know, bro. I say is just thank God for everything. To God be glory. Like He really setting things up, and I'm finally seeing some results of the hard work that I've been putting in for the last few years. So it's cool, man, and I'm doing all right. As far as today in the market, I actually didn't make much money in the market today, um, but I ain't really lose anything, and I still have my sanity, still have my accounts. But yeah, how about you? How you living?
Man, I'm all right. I've been doing better, like personally. This I think it always gets hard. It gets a little hard for me, like when the season starts changing, just
Hmm.
like from a mental level or emotional level. I don't know. It's just something about like that fall. Like once it's like September time frame, I just start to feel away. Like just generally, I just feel away. But coming into October, starting to set my goals for the new year. Always, on my podcast, I've done episodes before where I talk about how I like to start setting my goals before January so I can like kind of start them, early on the way into January. So it's not like so much pressure on you day one, but you already are like 100 days, you know, 80 days into a rhythm. And so, what I'm saying, you kind of just continuing on, as your new year starts. So I'm feeling really inspired, feeling motivated. Bro, taking deep breaths, exhaling, just like calming down and just executing. I'm blessed, and honestly, I couldn't say I've been any better. So we good right now. We good. We like.
I can dig it, and I'm happy to hear that. So I really am. It's cool. Like it's cool, and one thing I do want to say, uh, number one, this is the season where a lot of mental, I guess, like hardships come on people. So the one way that I feel like I can help with that is with by providing information for people's finances, because money is oh my bad, money is like one of the top three things that people stress about. You could go look it up. Um, People stress about their families, people stress about their health, and people stress about their finances. Ultimately, people stress about the things that they can't control. Um, then they stress about the things that they feel like they can't control. And people feel like they can never control the amount of money that they make because they work for somebody who tells them how much they're worth. So that's why this podcast means a lot to me. And it's just like giving people those free tips. Like it's just quick tips. It's like quick tips. We be here for like 30 minutes or an hour, and yeah, we be having fun like conversing. But if you go through that conversation and you actually see what the purpose was behind the conversation, you could be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, well, that's something else that I could pick up. Just like I've been saying, like 25 strategies to reach 7 figures, bro. The book in itself is something that can give you a piece of encouragement for this season where a lot of people are stressed, a lot of people are worried. And next week when we do our recording, I think we should talk about like gifts, Christmas gifts, and gifts ideas for people who are low budget, um, and thing, and people just want to spread that good holiday spirit, but they just be worried about what they can and can't afford and how it may make them look, when they show up. So just gonna talk to all that, man, and give people some encouragement. Um, Shoot, might do a giveaway. We might have to do a giveaway, like a Christmas giveaway. May have to give like um do a raffle, give a family like $100 or $200, something like that. Just whatever for Black Friday. I don't know, but anyway, yes, but I do want to say this too, and then we can spend 15 minutes talking about the stuff. Um, this is not my podcast, right? This podcast is for everybody. Podcast is for Jermaine. It's for Malik. It's for anybody that's listening. It just so happened that I was the one that started the Forever Slow Stroking, but Jermaine was the one that got me into podcasting when we had the crib in Maryland. So you know, I be the host, but this it's not just my podcast. It's for everybody. So y'all can always step in with the conversation, bro. Don't wait for me to say yeah or no. Like it's all of our discussion. So nah, you good. This is our table, and I don't tell you how to pick up the fork. You pick up the fork, eat your chicken, eat your vegetables. You feel me? That's the truth, man. I
Speaking
don't,
of mental geeks.
I don't tell you how to pick up your fork, bro. If you pick up your broccoli with a spoon, that's on you. But at the end of the day, we green. But shoot, son. Let's get into this topic. This is something that can help a lot of people during a recession. Um, People who are interested in sports. I am not that big of a sports fan, right? The sports that I like are individual sports, like meaning it's no team involved. So I like BMX, boxing, and racing. There are teams involved, but there's no team involved in the direct performance of the sport. Um, so we have sports betting going on, and I know Malik probably is the most like well-rounded of the three of us in that area, and then Jermaine would be next, and then I would be the bozo. So it's kind of funny me being the person that don't know what's going on, and it's good because like I told you, I do not step in the lanes of my people. Like that's why we have the circle, bro. I don't need to learn everything about sports betting if Malik knows it. I don't need to learn everything about the 401k, even though I do know a lot about the 401k. If Jermaine knows it, like, what? Why do I need to spend time there when I could just be like, oh, Malik, what's this? Oh, Jermaine, what's this? And then I have that resource. But let's talk about the sports betting. Malik, it's your time to shine. Come on, son.
All right, so pretty much, like Eyon said, I've been doing sports betting for a little while. I really started getting into it in the beginning of the year when the football playoffs came out, and I don't know, it was just like I was just hitting, and I didn't really bet crazy money. I just started off with like $20. Would say, oh yeah, this team's gonna win 20-17, and then they would just hit. And I made $200. You'd be like, oh, okay, like $200, whatever. But eventually, like, I just started watching it more and more. I did a lot of fantasy football, so that kind of got me into the idea of just doing it. Um, and the one thing I like about sports betting, it reminds me a lot about options, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you trade options, you buying. Well, it's not necessarily you know an asset that you're buying or purchasing at the time and selling at the time, but you just placing a wager that
Security.
this prediction will happen. Yeah. And like options, you predict that it's going to hit a certain stop price. You buy the call, buy put, whatever it takes, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the one thing about sports betting is that it's not just a one sport thing. It actually consists of nine sports. So they got like esports, they have boxing, they have MMA, they have um they have football, basketball, hockey, FIFA, and multiple different leagues within each one of them. So it's not like you can just only do American. You can do American, international, all that. Um, Best bets, personally, I would say, are the parlays. I don't know if people are aware, but parlays are pretty much when there's two different types of parlays. There's whole game parlays and then there's same game parlays. Whole game parlays are pretty much parlays that, all right, I want this team to win this game. I want this team to win this game. I want this team to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
And you just stack it up to, depending on whatever broker you use. So there's FanDuel, MGM, Caesars Sportsbook, Fliff, which is the one that I primarily use, but and there's other ones, but based off of their numbers or logistics, they allow you to have certain a certain number of whole games within a parlay or a whole game parlay. Um, Same thing with same game is just you just betting on certain players or certain attributes that a player will get. Um, as well as betting on the game. Maybe you betting on the total amount of points. So there's different types of ways, but there's a lot of ways to win in sports betting, which is what I like about it, and it kind of gives you that rush as well. What else I guess you want me to
So
speak
I
on?
want you to tell us what's the easiest thing we could do, right? Say you're literally talking to me and I'm like, and I'm talking to you how I talk to you when it comes to sports. I'll be like, what do I like? What do I do? Like, I got the app open. What you want me to do? So we need to tell people how to like get something going, right? Because we want them to make a little money. Like, obviously, you're gonna have that individual who knows the sports and be like, "Oh yeah, like when I was at the Panthers game, it was playing the 49ers. I mean, the way that the whole stadium was red, and we was and it was a Panther stadium. The way the whole stadium was red, I was like, bro, the 69ers probably going or the 49ers probably gonna win, bro. Like, it's too many of them coming out. Like, nobody comes out that deep, bro, to lose.
Right.
Hey, like, to lose, nah. It looked like it was only like 15 fans in there for the Panthers, and the rest of the 45,000 people were 49ers fans. But so let's tell the people like, what's the easiest
So
thing to do? What's the easiest bet to make?
I mean, the easiest bet to make, hands down, is just a straight money line bet. The easiest bet is just to say, I think this team is gonna beat this team.
Okay.
That's all money line stands for. Um, and if you go on the app, typically they have a section that says money line. They might have something that says pick. It's the same thing, worth the same value. But that's the easiest bet, to just say, I think this team is gonna win. I guess the most, when I go into like some of my research, I guess it's mostly I look at the team's records. So that's first. Is the team good? Is the team bad? I look at the environment around it. How is the coaching on this team compared to this team? What players are healthy, and who's at home and who's away. Those four things typically got me a good 75% accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, 25% accurate. And then the next easiest bet, which I call reassurance bets, they're called spread bets. So spread bets work in the negative and the positive, simply as if you was buying for a call, except if you was buying a put in options, right? You were expecting it to go down. Well, a plus spread is what sports betting would say a team that's an underdog or a team that you expect to go down, like a team that you expect to lose. The only good thing about the point spread bets is that the team can lose, but you give like a cushion. So yesterday I say I think the Ravens will lose by 3. I could say Ravens plus 3.5. Yesterday they lose by 3. I still won the bet. That's the way sports betting kind of saves you or gives you kind of like that leverage. Now on the minus side, let's say, I think the Ravens are gonna beat them, but I know they're gonna beat them by 3. I can just do the Ravens -3 or Ravens -2.5 or whatever you want to put. That's how many points they have to beat them by. So
Now, if they
that's
beat them by more points than you say that they would beat them by, you still win?
yeah, you still win. It doesn't your odds don't go up higher. You don't win any more money. Pretty much like unless it's something that's out of reach. So let's say I think the Ravens played the Giants this week. Let's say I say the Ravens gonna beat them by 10. I don't know if the Ravens gonna beat them by 10, but let's say I say the Ravens gonna beat them by 10. And I do -10 for $100. It might say that I can win $500 just off of that one game. It might just say, "Oh, well, I put $100 in, and your payout will be $697 or something."
Mm-hmm.
So you have a chance to win $500, but how likely is it for them to win by 10 when they haven't won a game by, or maybe they did win one, but they haven't won a game recently by 10? Like, why would?
Yeah, I'm raving some scrubs right now. I don't know what's up with them. I ain't been in the stadium since. Like, nah, but
You feel me? But that's how the spreads work. And they work like I said in your favor, where it kind of gives you a cushion, and then sometimes they work like a huge risk. Like there's a guy who this past weekend I was talking to my cousin about it. He placed a $25 bet that the Chiefs will win, Devontae Adams will have 2 touchdowns, and Travis Kelce will have 3. I don't know how he bet it, but he bet that, and this man turned $25 into 987,000. 987,000. One
that's
bet.
crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, bro, this sports betting is totally different.
Totally different.
I seen a lot
Yeah,
of those Kelsey Adams parlays. I seen a lot of people
Yeah,
on that.
yeah. It was
that's
it was crazy.
crazy. Yeah, so you already know where I'm gonna be at. Every Sunday, Monday, Thursday. Yeah.
Sunday, Monday,
But you know me,
Thursday.
I be at the game anyway. So I kind of be seeing things like firsthand. Like, can you bet during the game?
Yeah, so they have in play bets as well. The only thing about in-play bets is that the odds kind of change like as the game is going. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say before a game, you think that I think the Lions last week, right? The Lions lost 29-0 last week. Someone could have said before the game started, "Oh yeah, I want a 30.5 plus for the Lions," like meaning
Mm-hmm.
that they'll lose, but they won't lose by more than 30. If they don't lose by more than 30, you still hit, right? But if you was to do it during the in play, the odds would probably be less. So instead of I'm just going to say $100. Instead of putting $100 and making $50 off of that, you might only make 5 because you did it during the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
That's a bet.
that's the
That's fair.
that's the
Yeah,
that's
before, right, during the NBA, it was an NBA playoffs this year. Me and my mans were like looking at a game, and like in the middle of the game, like I think it was like it might have been like the Suns versus like the Clippers or like the Mavs. It was some West Coast stuff. And during the game, like, a team was up by like 15. And it's like, okay, if you could bet that hand, right? Because the odds were so off. Like if you bet that
mm-hmm.
the other team that's down by 15 is gonna come back and win, your odds are gonna multiply your wins crazy. So then if
Crazy.
the team comes
Yeah.
back and wins, you could turn like $50 into like, a couple hundred because you were betting on the far end of it. It's kind of like if you think about like scalpers or like something when something is
Mm-hmm.
overextended, like a RSI, and you're like, oh, okay, it's bound to come down because like it's overextended. And sometimes with the live betting too, you can cash out. You might not be able to cash out for like a high amount, but you might be in a situation where you live bet and you just kind of like hit that sweet spot where it's like, okay, you like let's say first quarter was a blowout, but then the team starts coming back, and by the third quarter, you might be able to cash out low key and say, oh, like I just want to take like maybe double my money or like,
Right.
I got it close enough in range where I can just so you can like low key, like that's why I like what Malik said. It was like it's kind of like options a little bit because you can apply similar principles to like, sports betting for sure.
I'm glad
And
y'all giving this breakdown because this is good. This is good. I'm ready to place a bet right now. I'm gonna go into the FSS chat. I'm gonna see what the boys been putting in there, and I'm gonna place my bet for tomorrow. Y'all betting for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm betting for tomorrow. I think it's a few games I'm thinking, but as of tomorrow, I think the Bears gonna take it. I ain't gonna lie. I think
That's all I gotta know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are saying
I'm having parlay parties. You feel me? My bad, John.
Oh, no, I was just saying. I think I've heard a lot of people say the Bears. That a lot of people are gunning for the Bears. They said that game is going to be a boring game. So I don't know. People are saying it's going to be like, maybe you could do like same, like Malik was saying, same game parlays where you're thinking, okay, somebody's going to throw a certain amount of interceptions, or there might be a certain amount of like fumbles. Like you might be able to get a lot of those off because these are two teams that, relatively speaking, suck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're not
either one
good.
team is going shine, or they're both going to be trash, and they're going to give you nice like hits on like interceptions or like not throwing enough yards, not running enough yards, or whatever the case may be.
I think I'm gonna put in one bet. I'm gonna put in 2 tickets, but on one of the tickets, I think I'm gonna put that the first drive is either gonna be a fumble or interception.
Hey, put a ticket in for me. I got you.
I'm gonna place it. I'm gonna put it all in the chat. It's gonna be on flip. So you're gonna be able to see it. You're gonna be able to see it.
Oh wait, you don't do the joints at the casino no more?
Nah, I don't go because Maryland talking about they're gonna approve FanDuel at the beginning of the year.
Oh snap!
Yeah, so I'm just gonna stash up as much as I can on Flip, and when the time comes, I'm gonna just transfer all the funds over to FanDuel.
I hope I don't come in here saying, guys, I lost the house.
Yeah.
Oh no, nah, never.
I feel like you just got that house. Nah, but that's straight. Shoot, that's a bet. Well, I'm gonna go in there today, or maybe in the morning. I don't know. And I'm gonna get right, cause
I'm gonna send it, but I'm gonna send it. I think the game is at 8, so I'm gonna send it definitely before the market close. I'm gonna send it before the market close.
Yeah, that's straight. I think I got one client tomorrow, so that's cool. But thank you for sharing the information, bro. Like y'all golden for that. But to everybody else, this is just like one other avenue that you could take to just build that extra income, maybe to fund your Christmas shopping, or to fund, maybe dinner, like a dinner outing, something like that. So stop looking to get rich quick and just look to, you know, appreciate what small gains you can get. And if you keep multiplying those small gains, eventually it adds up. Like, say for example, you got a part-time job. You have a full-time and a part-time. If you can pocket like 2K a week, 2K a week on a part-time job, or maybe 1,000 a week on a part-time job, that's 4,000 a month, right? 9 times out of 10, your bills are what, 3,500. So if you pocket that 4K and you made, and you spend 3,500 on the bills for that month, you got an extra 500 for gas and food, plus your whole regular check for anything else, for saving, for investing, for put money into your own knowledge and growth, so that way you could make more money, or even just to have a cushion. So it's like people don't think about that. People are like, oh, I'm only making this, I'm only making that there, so I don't really want to go. But it's like when you add it up over the course of a month, cool. Like I told you, my little part time, I made over $7,000 in 44 hours. So it's like I was like, cool. I appreciate that. I appreciate a little part time job. You know what I'm saying? So 44 hours over 7K, not bad. I've seen worse, but Yeah, so I once again, bro, I appreciate y'all fellas. Y'all have been, wonderful. Jermaine, happy belated birthday, bro. I really enjoyed.
Happy belated, yeah. I didn't even
That's
know.
right.
Now I
That's
gotta
right.
put. I got.
Man, I'm an old head, man. I don't even want to talk about it.
Ah, that's right. No, we was outside though a little bit. It
Man,
was. I pulled up, bro. Some people asked me, they was like, "You sure you want to go all the way? You know what I'm saying, Virginia, just to go to a party?" I was, cause I didn't even know Morgan's homecoming was this. I thought it was next weekend. Like I thought Morgan's homecoming was this coming weekend. I was going up there, for Jermaine's party, and I said, I don't really ever have to think about what's gonna be involved in the trip. I don't have to think about the 4 hour drive. I don't have to think about the money that's going to be spent because Jermaine always shows up. No matter what I do, Jermaine always shows up and he always shows support. Um, like I can't even count the times. Like every time, Houston conference in Houston, Jermaine was there. Conferences on Zoom that we was doing, the free little events, Jermaine was there. The meetings twice a week, Jermaine's there. The conference in Maryland, in Virginia, Jermaine's there. Birthday and my little birthday dinner in
after
Raleigh,
the year,
Jermaine
yeah,
was
I
there.
remember that.
Like, and it was snowing. My man's copped the rental and skating out there, but he showed up. He ain't make no excuses. He just showed up. So when his girlfriend had her birthday party, I was there. Like I didn't have to think. I was like, all right, cool. He asked me to come, I'm gonna come. And then when it was his time to shine, I pulled up. So you just gotta keep that in mind when you're dealing with people. Uh, Deal with people who do well by you, and do well by them, and you'll always have a good friendship. So yeah, so Jermaine, I appreciate you for sure, for sure, for sure. Malik, you definitely showed up too, though. I ain't gonna hold you, Malik. I never have to worry about Malik. Like, I never had to be like, is Malik, is he valid? Like, it's just, I just don't have to think. I'd be like, he'll let me know. Like, I'd be like, hey, yo, Malik, you dead? Nah, I'm good. I ain't think so. You would have called me. Hey, that's
Right.
it.
There you go.
But nah, son. But I just want to say I really appreciate you too. It's great knowing you. I do pray that you all have a blessed, productive, and financially prosperous evening. And if it's God's will, I'm gonna holler at y'all later. All right, son.